Hey friends, this is Jeremy. Christina and I are going to present the song Broken Vessels for you this evening. As I was reading earlier this week in the book of Jeremiah, in chapter 2, I came across the following verse 13. It says, "For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, to hew for themselves cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water." You see, when we derive our joy and our purpose from ourselves or the things of this world, we essentially craft of our lives a broken cistern. And only the grace of God can repair that cistern, repair the cracks in us to make us able to hold the living water of Christ so that we can then pour it out into the lives of those around us. So my challenge for you this evening is to, one, recognize your own brokenness, and two, to accept His grace and embrace His grace. That is the only thing that can repair that brokenness. So join us.
All these pieces, broken and scattered, in mercy gathered, mended and whole, empty-handed, but not forsaken. I've been set free, I've been set free. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Oh, I once was lost, but now I am found, was blind, but now I see. Oh, I can see it now. Can see the love in your eyes, laying yourself down, raising up the broken to life. You take our failure, you take our weakness, you set your treasure in jars of clay. So take this heart, Lord, I'll be your vessel, the world to see your life in me. Oh, amazing, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Oh, I once was lost, but now I am found, was blind, but now I see. Oh, I can see it now. I can see the love in your eyes, laying yourself down, raising up the broken to life. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Oh, I once was lost, but now I am found, was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like
Clyde, it's Pastor Seth coming to you from a chair in my bedroom. If you didn't hear, we unfortunately had a potential exposure this week, and so we had to cancel all our events that we had planned for next week, and I'm here. This is the only place in my house where I cannot wear a mask. It's my bedroom. It's kind of where I'm isolating from my wife because she works with the elderly, and so just a little bit different of circumstances, but excited to be able to share a little bit with you today. During this coronavirus season, it's all been just really, things have been up in the air, things have been happening. So thanks for your flexibility and everything that's been going on. During this season, you may have noticed, it's been really easy to just have a built-in excuse for anything that you don't want to do if you don't want to go outside. Your friends might invite you to go play spike ball in the field, they might invite you out, and you'd be like, dude, I can't go out because of coronavirus. And I would just encourage you to continue to be vigilant. But even before the crisis occurred, you might have had friends who would make an excuse for everything. I know I've had friends like that, where you invite them out and you're planning on seeing each other, and they're like, "Oh man, I can't go. I got homework to do. Oh man, I can't go because my mom's telling me I gotta clean my room." And you'll see them like online within like 30 minutes. You know, they'll be on Xbox, or you'll see photos on Instagram later. They'll be at the beach, and you're like, "Bro, like, what the heck? What happened?" And that is kind of something that happens regularly. And Jesus is going to tell a story in Luke chapter 14. Josh shared a little bit about it earlier today. If you watched our Sunday sermons or you're there tonight at 7 p.m., you will hear this message about the same parable. He shares out of Matthew 22, but I'm going to share out of Luke 14. Jesus tells a story about people who are making these lame excuses for why they couldn't come to this banquet, and he's going to extend an opportunity and an invitation to all of us and to people to say, hey, my Father wants to invite you in to something amazing, to something great, and the invitation is available right for you all times. Here's what Jesus says in Luke chapter 14, starting in verse 16. Jesus tells this story. He says this. He says, "A certain man was preparing a great banquet and invited many guests. At the time of the banquet, he sent his servant to tell those who had been invited, 'Come, for everything is now ready.' But they all alike began to make excuses. The first one said, 'I just bought a field and I must go. I have to see it. Please excuse me.' Another one said, 'I just bought 5 yoke of oxen and I'm on my way to try them out. Please excuse me.' And still another said, 'I just got married, so I can't come.' The servant came back and reported this to his master. Then the owner of the house became angry and ordered his servant, 'Go out quickly into the streets and alleys of the town and bring in the poor, the crippled, the blind, and the lame.' 'Sir,' the servant said, 'what you ordered has been done, and yet there's still room.' Then the master told his servant, 'Go out to the roads and the country lanes and compel them to come so that my house will be full. I tell you, not one of those who were invited will get a taste of my banquet.'" Jesus tells this story, and it starts out with so many lame excuses. It's, I have to clean my room. Oh, I have to do my homework, whatever it might be. They say, "I bought a field, I can't come." First of all, who buys a field without seeing it? The answer to that question, even in Jesus' day, was no one. No one. Who buys 5 yoke of oxen without testing it out? The answer, no one. Who doesn't know that, oh man, I just got married, sorry. No one. Everybody, hopefully, maybe not in this season because of coronavirus, but most people know when their wedding date is and when they're getting married. All these lame excuses, one after the other. And I imagine on the master's end, just that feeling of rejection. Have you ever felt that, man, when people make excuses to not come to things, maybe they don't invite you to things, that feeling that we have of rejection? The master, I'm sure, feels that. And yet, rejection is painful, but instead of wallowing, he goes out and he invites others to the party. In Jesus' time, this would have been understood as, the people that were originally invited to the party, the Jews and the Pharisees, who he's telling a story to. He's saying, you were invited to the party and you started to make excuses of why you couldn't come. And so now I'm going to invite others to the party, the Gentiles, and those who you think are not worthy are actually going to be invited to the table. And this is a beautiful picture that those who are not worthy are the people that God actually invites to the table. And there's this beautiful story of mercy and grace, and something that really we shouldn't miss. It's that God invites broken and hurt people, broken and broke people, if you will, to share in his abundance. God invites broken people to share in his abundance. Don't miss that. That there's an invitation for you and for me to come to this table and receive mercy and grace. And a lot of times what happens in our lives, we get so caught up in the day-to-day and the things that we're doing that we can lose sight of the fact that God has invited us just to be with him, to have community with him. And so I would ask the question to you, how are you receiving that invitation in this season? Are you accepting it? Are you taking advantage of it? Or are you making excuses? A lot of times, I'll be honest, I make excuses. But God continues to invite us and want us to be with him and have community with him. And when we accept this invitation, a lot of times it's a transformative thing. I love this story because I think it also clarifies the call that each one of us has. You'll notice in the story that the servant invites all the people that are nearby, the broken and the crippled and the lame and the blind, and all these people, the rejects of the society of Jesus' day, are invited into this party. And he invites a bunch of broken people in, and yet there's still plenty of room. There's still plenty of room. And this is the call that you and I share. It's that we're called to share that invitation. This isn't a closed door party. It's not RSVP only. It's a party that's the master saying, go fill this place up until we can't fit anymore. And here's the good news about God's kingdom. There's enough room for everybody. There's enough room for everybody. And we're called to accept this invitation and share that invitation with other people. I love what Martin Luther said is before he passed away, he has this famous quote that says that we're all just mere beggars, showing other beggars where to find bread. We're all just beggars, showing other beggars where to find bread. And in this time of so much unknown, when the people that are around us, God is calling each and every one of us, and he's calling each and every person that we know to the table. And sometimes we have our world say, hey, come on. This is where you find bread. This is where you find fullness of life. This is where you're going to find grace and peace and truth and joy at the table, at God's table, at Jesus's table. And so come to the table. The invitation is there for you. It's available. It's available for the people around you. Who are you inviting to the table? I think that's a challenge to each and every one of us. That there's people in our lives that we need to say, hey, this is where you find bread. You've been looking in all the wrong places. This is actually where you find the bread of life. And so, show people this week where to find bread. Point them to bread. Go find it yourself. If you haven't yet got to the table, go find the table. Jesus is waiting. He's available to you. And point other people to the bread that is only found in Jesus and at Jesus' table. We hope you'll do that this week. It's such a challenge for me personally to say, God, who are the people that you're calling me to invite to your table? Who are the beggars that need bread just like me? And so, we hope that you're happy and healthy. We hope to be able to run some really great stuff really shortly. But until then, we hope to just be able to see you online. We'll be back online Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. We'll also have some different opportunities, hopefully this week, online to be able to connect with you. And we love you. We'll talk to you soon. If you need anything, don't hesitate. Reach out to us. We're here for you. And we'll talk to you soon.